Good morning, children. Good morning, all of you. By slavery, what do you mean by slavery? Or have you heard about slaves? Slaves?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
A person we buy
Ah,
by giving cash and we'll order them to do stuff.
and we will make them to do, means we will make them work hard for us, right? Okay, see children, have you heard about African Americans?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, who were African Americans? See children, these African Americans were not really, yes, Fisan. So these African Americans were not really the people from America.
And can I was late.
Why you become late, Fizan?
Ma'am, I put the alarm that 12:15. I put alarm that it is at the ring.
Oh, very good. Is it just like you, the alarm bell? Always late.
I forgot that I put alarm.
Very good.
Ring.
That's a good habit, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
See children, just I started, Fizan, I just started only about slavery. Okay, see children, so slavery was existed in France. Okay, slavery was prevalent in France. Okay, these African Americans were really the people from Africa. They were brought over to America as slaves. Okay, as slaves. And we know that till now there is racial discrimination is happening between the blacks and the whites in America, right? Yeah, the people of Africa, they were black, okay, in color, and they were being discriminated in America. Okay, so this slavery, these people were brought over to America as slaves from Africa. Okay, so slavery was existed in France. Okay, so we'll study in detail why it was happened. Okay. Okay, children. Okay, so there was a triangular trade, slave trade. Okay, triangular slave trade was happened between Africa, America, okay, and Europe. Okay, so the Caribbean islands, have you heard about Caribbean islands?
Yes, ma'am. That one movie is there.
About Caribbean islands.
Pirates of Caribbean.
Okay, okay, I have heard it about. Okay, Pirates of Caribbean Sea, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me open e-board. So these Caribbean islands, okay, were the rich suppliers of the commodities like sugar, tobacco, and indigo. Have you heard about all these crops?
Yes,
Indigo. What is indigo, children?
and paint,
Huh?
fruit.
It's a crop, which gives blue color.
For clothes.
Yes. Okay, which give blue color to the clothes. It's a blue dye. Okay, indigo, tobacco, okay, sugar. So these Caribbean islands were the rich suppliers of all these commodities. Okay, and the Europeans and the, yes. Mm. Okay, so these Europeans, okay, were not ready to work in those plantations. Okay, so there was a shortage of laborers. Okay, there was a shortage of laborers. Okay, so the people needed some people, okay, as laborers in these plantations. Okay, so the solution what they have found, they brought many slaves, okay, from Africa. Okay, they buy some people, okay, some men as slaves, and they brought here, okay, from Africa, okay, to America and also to Europe. Okay, and it began in 17th century. During the 17th century, the slave trade began in Europe. Okay, the slaves were brought from local chieftain, means that from this Africa, the people were brought over to here, these Caribbean colonies and all, okay, as slaves. Okay, and after branding and shackling, the slaves were packed tightly into the ships for the 3-month long voyages from here, okay, through the Atlantic Ocean. These people were brought over to Caribbean islands, okay, and they were sold to the plantation owners. Okay, so children, just listen to me. The colonies of Caribbean, the Caribbean colonies were the rich suppliers of the commodities. Okay, that is sugar, tobacco, and indigo, etc. Okay, so there was a shortage of laborers. These plantation owners, they do not have enough workers. Okay, shortage of laborers means that they do not have enough workers. Okay, so the Europeans were reluctant to work in these plantation. Okay, so this was met by a triangular slave trade between triangular slave trade between Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, so the most important revolutionary social reform of the Jacobins regime, okay, Jacobins were the abolition of slavery. Okay, slavery began during the 17th century. Okay, because the colonies in Caribbean, okay, were the important suppliers of these commodities, that is sugar, tobacco, indigo, and coffee. Okay, so the Europeans were not ready to work in this plantation, so there was a shortage of laborers. Okay, there was a shortage of workers. Okay, so this was met with a triangular slave trade between these three countries. Which all three countries, children? Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, Europe, Asia, and Africa. So the French merchants, okay, the French merchants, they brought the slaves from Africa, okay, and they traveled through the Atlantic Ocean to the Caribbean islands, and they were sold to the plantation owners. Okay, and it was during the Jacobins, that is under Maximilian Robespierre, they made, okay, Maximilian Robespierre was against slavery. Okay, he made all slaves free. Okay, under the Jacobins, they made all slaves free. But, okay, but 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery. Okay, that means in 1794, Jacobins, okay, they made free, okay, they made all slaves free. But 10 years later, Napoleon Bonaparte, he reintroduced slavery. Okay, even though under the Jacobins, slavery was abolished in France, but 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery. Okay, and it was finally in the year, this date it is very important, children. It was finally in the year 1848, slavery was finally abolished in France. Okay. Children, just let me explain or just let me revise the points which we have discussed. Okay, see the Caribbean islands. Okay, the Caribbean islands. They were the important suppliers of the commodities like sugar, tobacco, and indigo. Okay, and the Europeans were not ready to work in these plantation that led to the shortage of laborers. Okay, there was a shortage of laborers. There was means no one is ready to work in this plantation. Okay, so this was met with a triangular slave trade between these three countries, that is Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, and slave trade was flourished in France during the 17th century. Okay, but under Jacobins, that means under Maximilian Robespierre, they made all slaves free. Okay, but 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery. He introduced slavery in France. Okay, but after that, the plantation owners, okay, the plantation owners understood the right of this African Negroes. Okay, and it was in the year 1848, slavery was finally abolished in France. Is it clear? Is it clear, children? Is it clear to you? Slavery was prevalent in France during the 17th century. Okay, the Caribbean colonies were the important suppliers of the commodities like sugar, coffee, and indigo, okay, and all. Okay, so there was a shortage of laborers. Why? Because the Europeans were reluctant to work. Okay, the Europeans were not ready to work in this plantation. Okay, so there was a shortage of laborers. Okay, this was met with a triangular slave trade between which all countries? Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, the people, the French merchants, they traveled to these places and they buy the slaves from these places and through the ships. Okay, for after a 3-month long voyages, they sold them to the plantation owners. Okay, and under the Jacobins, okay, under Maximilian Robespierre, they made all slaves free, but 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery. Okay, but finally in the year 1848, slavery was abolished in France. Clear? Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. So the next, we are moving to the last portion. Okay. That is abolition of censorship. Children, that is the revolution and everyday life. Okay. So one important law that came into effect, okay, after 1789 was the abolition of censorship. One important law that came into existence after 1789 was the abolition of censorship. Children have heard about censorship. Okay, here in France also, the most important law that came into existence in after 1789 was the abolition of censorship. Okay, so what do you mean by censorship, children? Before, means during that time, okay, before the revolutionary government, okay, or before the national government, if any book, if any book or play, if they want to perform or if they want to publish, that means the people of France, okay, it want to, it could be published only after,
sensor.
yes, okay, only after it is approved by the censors of the king. Okay, so what it means, children? What does it mean? The people of France, they do not have any freedom to express their ideas or express their views. Okay, see, so the people of France, if they want to publish a play, okay, if they want to publish a book, or if they want to want to perform a play, okay, or if they want to write an article, okay, they need to get an approval by the censors of the king. Okay, if that censor board, if it is approved only, they could publish or they could perform that play or a means book. Okay, so during 1789, after 1789, when the Louis XVI, okay, when his rule end, okay, or his powers were being limited by the constitution, they means a new law came into existence, that is abolition of censorship. After 1789, the people of France has got the chance to express their ideas. They can express their ideas through or their opinion through the movie, through the plays, journals, articles, or dramas or something. Okay, so till that time, the people of France do not have the chance to express their opinion. Okay, so the first means the most important law that is passed in 1789 was the abolition of censorship. Okay, because till that time, the people of France do not have the chance to express their opinion. They do not have the freedom, okay, to express their ideas. Okay, so see, children, in a democratic country, now we are, means now India, it is a democratic country, right? We are enjoying, okay, we are enjoying the fundamental right. That means that we have the right to express our opinion. We can say anything. Okay, we can express our opinion in a democratic country, but the people of France do not have the same same right. Okay, if they want to publish any play or any drama or something, it should be approved by the censors of the king. Okay, censor board of the king. If that members, if they approved only, they could publish that one. Okay, so after this, the people of France has got the chance to express their opinion, has to express their ideas. So many books, many newspapers, Okay, journals, all things was flooded in the French market because when they have got the chance to express, okay, the freedom to express their opinion, they have started to write many books, many journals and all. Okay, that you mean by revolution and everyday life. So children, our portion for this means this lesson it is over. Okay, so children, so today I have told you about a test, right? That is unit 2. Mm, let me revise some points from this chapter, from this unit. After that, I will take the test. I will send you the link. Okay, children.
Okay, ma'am.
Just let me discuss. Okay, so children, so if the king want to impose any new law, okay, he cannot do Louis 60. If he want to impose any new laws, he cannot do it alone. Okay, for that he need to get an approval from the estate general. So what is estate general? It is a political body, okay, in which the three estates send their representatives. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Isha, can you repeat? Isha, can you tell me what is estate general?
Ma'am,
Hmm. What is estate general?
representatives of each estate.
Each estate. Okay, it is a political body in which the three estates needed to send their representatives. Okay, so if the king want to impose more taxes, he need to call out a meeting of this estate general. Okay, and last time it was convened in the year 1614. Okay, and in 1789, Louis 60 call out a meeting of the estate general. Okay, in which year, children? 1789, Louis 60 call out a meeting of the estate general. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear.
Yes, ma'am.
And the first and second estate sent 300 representatives each. Okay. And what about the third estate?
600.
600. Okay, the third estate, they have sent 600 representatives. Okay, so the first estate, 300 representatives, second
Class.
estate, 300, and the third estate, 600 representatives were gathered in a court of Warsaw in the year 1789. Okay, and uh, the clergy and the nobles were seated. Okay, and the middle class people, that means the third estate. The third estate were represented by the middle class people, those who were very rich. Okay, and who denied entry? Peasants, artisans, and women denied entry to the hall. Okay, they were not allowed to enter the hall. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Then, till that time, it was a custom that each estate had one vote. Each estate had only one vote. Okay, but during this time, okay, they were not ready. The middle class people or the third estates were not ready for that. Okay, they demanded that each member, okay, each member would need to get a chance to vote. Okay, till that time it was a custom that each estate had only one vote, but during this time the middle class people demanded that each member wanted to get the voting chance and the king was not ready. Okay, so the third estate members walked out from the assembly hall, and on 20th June 1789, They assembled in an open tennis court. Okay, they assembled an open tennis court and they
Ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, tell that class test any class. Today taking class. Ma'am didn't tell.
Oh,
And
now
I'm not
I'll conduct after this.
okay.
Okay, after revising the portion, I will conduct the test. Okay. And
Okay.
they gathered in an open tennis court. Okay, and this movement was led by two important people. Who were they? Mirabu and Abyssius. Okay, Mirabu and Abyssius. Mirabu, he was a noble family. He was from a noble family and he brought many journals. Okay, and he inspired the people. Okay, to fight against the king. And Abyssius, he was a clergy. Okay, he was a clergy and he have written an influential pamphlet. What is it, children?
Is third estate.
Do you know the pamphlet written by Abyssius?
What is third estate?
What is third estate? Very good. Okay, he has written an influential pamphlet, that is what is third estate. Okay, and severe winter affected during this time and the people needed to stand long hours in queue for the food. Okay, so they stormed a bakery. The angry woman, they stormed a bakery. Okay, and the peasants, there was a rumor. Okay, that the king sent his troops to destroy the crops. Okay, so the peasants, they feared and angered. Okay, they were, means they got feared about, means by hearing this news, and they attacked chatters. What is chatters, children? Hmm? Chat.
Bungalows.
Yes, castle. Okay, castle or bungalows of king and nobles. Castle of king, king and nobles. Okay, and they have looted. Okay, they have looted the hoarded grains. Okay, and they contain the records of manorial dues. Okay, they burned the records of manorial dues. Okay, and on the right of 4th August 1789, 4th August 1789,
Ma'am, whose book that what is third estate? Nurbavino.
Absius.
Okay, ma'am.
4th August 1789, the Assembly passed a decree that abolishes the feudal systems and obligations and taxes, and members of clergy, okay, members of the clergy were forced to give up their privileges. Okay, many nobles fled from their areas to some others. Okay, and the National Assembly completed its drafting in the year 1791. This date, it is very important. Okay, the National Assembly completed its drafting in the year 1791.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yes. And according to the new constitution, there were two types of citizen, active and passive. Who are active citizen? Those who are paying the taxes
They can vote.
equal to the 3 days wages of a laborer. Okay, those who are 25 years of age and also they are paying, yes.
What is it? 1791.
This is the national constitution, means the National
Draft of
Assembly completed the draft of the constitution in the year 1791.
Okay, ma'am.
Fizan?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? Then they were active and passive citizen. Okay, and the constitution begins with the declaration of the right of man and citizen.
Citizen.
The Declaration of the Right of Man and Citizen. Yes. And there were many rights, that is freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law. All these are natural and inalienable right. Okay, and it is the duty of the government to protect this natural and inalienable right. And see children, the last point, there are many people in France, those who were not able to read and write. So they used some symbols, some political symbols to convey the meaning of the constitution. Okay, that is a broken chain. Okay, that is the one to show the act of becoming free, and the bundle of rod. Okay, that shows unity, and I within a triangle. Okay, that shows the I stand for knowledge, and scripture, that is symbol of royal power. Red cap, which symbolizes liberty. Okay, law tablet means that all laws are equal to everyone and it is same to all. Okay, it is applicable to everyone and everyone is equal before the law. Children, only 5 minutes. Let me send the link. Okay.
Yeah, madam.
Okay. Okay, children, I'm sending the link. Okay. Have you all got the link, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Submit it. Delvin, do one thing. Delvin, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Send a message in my WhatsApp. I'll send the link again to you. Just try to attempt it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, submit it. Okay, and tomorrow means next day I will send you some questions from the 3rd unit. Read the textbook and prepare it. And those who have scored good marks, very good. Keep it up. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye, children. Thank you. See you on the next class.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.